Look, let's head now to another story on the front of the Oz. Unions in deafening hush over Premier. Queensland's leading political power broker, Gary Bullock, has refused to declare his support for Annastacia Palaszczuk as the trade union movement falls silent on whether the Premier should lead Labor to next year's election. Bronnie, I'll come back to you. We just heard from Graham Richardson speaking on Paul Murray earlier this evening, basically saying that she looks like she's tired and should probably go gently into that quiet night with an Aperol in hand in Naples. What do you make of this? That specifically now that she's losing the support of the trade union movement, it looks like the clock's already started ticking.
Well, it does, and more particularly, doesn't it say everything about the power of the union movement in the Labor Party?
I was just about to say that. No, we're on a unity ticket here. I mean, this is the thing, right? It's not the Premier that the people of Queensland have elected. It's who the union power broker, who nobody elected, nobody knows what he thinks or what his moral, ethical compass is. Not suggesting he doesn't have one, but my point is he's not the elected official. He's not the person who's accountable, but he's the person who's calling the shots, and that's what happens in Labor. It's not anyone that you or I would ever vote for. It's whoever the unions say that we get dished up.
Well, that's what's happening with the industrial relations reform.
It's a rort.
Yeah.
I mean,
speaking of industrial relations, I think. Sorry, Bronwyn?
Well, that's what the industrial relations reforms are all about. Burke is just giving them everything they want. And in my personal view, he sees himself as a future leader. And when there's a vote on it, he would be looking for the union vote, just like Shorten got it. But aside from that, I watched his press conference today and honestly, talk about the man who didn't answer a question and kept saying, oh, well, we haven't got a lot of case law yet. You bet you haven't. To get my practising certificate as a solicitor, I have to do 10 points every year. And I chose industrial relations as part of it. And we had a briefing on the legislation that has already gone through. And there are just so many questions that can't be answered because the court hasn't made a determination yet. It is such a minefield for employers. Such a minefield. And it's just making it impossible for small business.